Hello, I'm Steve Coombs and I'm going to be demonstrating how you can integrate Teamcenter Systems Engineering data with DOORS, and for this we'll be using the integrator. So let's spend just a few moments looking at the integrator. Now it's more than just a product, it's a whole framework that can help you share data from a variety of source products with a variety of target products. But it's very extendable, so should you need to add new products greater than the ones we currently support, then it's a very easy thing to do. But it's a highly flexible approach. We don't have to dictate how the data looks or how it will end up. You can use your own schemas to define how the data should work, and it fully integrates with the way that you wish it to. But it can be used for a migration, also one-way synchronization, and also bi-directional synchronization, where you send data backwards and forwards between product sets. And everything that translates between one product and another goes via our RIF standard as the basic translation format. So whether you're going from Teamcenter to DOORS, you'll go via the RIF standard. So if we look at a diagram of the integrator, you have the core integrator product that owns a series of connectors to different applications. For example, Siemens Teamcenter PLM, the T-Plan verification tools, different UML diagram tools, the RIF standards, QPAC for ALM, Siemens Teamcenter Systems Engineering, and IBM Rational DOORS, but a whole series of other tools can be added. And irrespective of what tool you choose as your source or your target, they connect to the integrator, so we can go from any of these products to any of the other products. So for this demonstration we'll concentrate on Siemens Teamcenter Systems Engineering integrating with IBM Rational DOORS. We will cover the following topics within this demonstration: how we can connect to TcSE and DOORS, how we can manage the type mapping so certain objects from TcSE become different objects within DOORS, how we can manage the attribute mapping so that we can choose different attributes and properties to bring across to DOORS, but also how can we extend these rules so your attributes have a bearing on your type mapping. But also, what does the data look like in DOORS and the retention of the structures and the links. And finally, we'll look at the change control and how to manage change when it happens. We can now see the main integrator screen where you can manage any existing configurations. What we'll do is create a new configuration linking Teamcenter Systems Engineering data with DOORS. But you can choose any of these applications as the start or end point of your integration. With TcSE, the first thing you can do is connect directly to your server, or you could start the integration using an exported project or schema file if you've got those. It returns to me a hierarchy of data we can pull out. Now we're going to choose an entire project, but equally you could just choose a structure within that project. There are some options you can set, but we'll keep these as default. So we now know the source, we just need to select the target application and we'll choose DOORS. Very similarly, we're now presented with a hierarchy and we can choose where the data is to be placed, within an existing project, or as we'll do here, at the start point of the hierarchy to create the structures. Again, there's options around doing this. So it now knows where the data is going from and to. We can start to work on the mapping, so what types within TcSE should become what objects within DOORS, and also what attributes within TcSE should become attributes within DOORS, and we can transfer a wide variety of information as we need to. So let's look at the type mapping. Now this is a very simple screen. It allows you to map the TcSE types as we've got on the left hand side with the DOORS types on the right hand side. It's very simple. We can just drag and drop so a building block object becomes a requirement. What we can also do is load this from an existing file that we've created, a mapping file, and I'll do that so we can see the data. Now I've also added in a link between trace links in TcSE to become DOORS links, but we've also extended the framework so it's not just a one-to-one basis of mapping. For example, the folder object in TcSE can go to different types within DOORS depending on a property that we set within TcSE, and this is all user driven, so you can make this as complex as you need to or as simple as you need to. So we can now look at the property or attribute mappings. Now this really is all around what properties and attributes would we like to appear within DOORS. Now you can map data to already created attributes within doors, or if you wanted, you can just actually create the attributes. For example, the verification status, I can create that as an attribute within doors, and we can see that populated. Now you can do this for all objects, or you can just specify it for certain objects that come out of TcSE, so you don't have to do an overall mapping. You can do it for each object that you need to. So we've now performed all the setup, we know all the rules, we can just actually let the integrator go and import this data. Now you can just give this a name and then allow the configuration and the tool to do its work. So the first thing that it will be doing is extracting the data from TcSE. It will then convert that data into the integrator's format, which is RIF. From there it will convert that RIF data into DOORS friendly format, followed by importing that data. But at all stages the integrator tracks and stores the IDs against the object, so it can start to manage change on a regular basis for you. So this has taken just a couple of minutes, but what it will have done is created all the different structures within doors. It would have created all the modules that you needed, established the links between the objects. Where there were links within TcSE, they're now links between different doors objects. It's created and populated the attributes you asked, and also converted any images and inserted those as well for you. So we can now see what this data looks like within doors. If we expand the hierarchy, we can see the integrator has created all the structures that we needed to, the different folders, but also has created modules where we need them to as well. If we open this module and have a look in a little bit more detail, we can see the structures internally have all been created and maintained from TcSE, but we can start to navigate down and we can see links that were between TcSE objects and now between doors objects. And going even further down, we can see that some images that we had within TcSE have also been converted and inserted within doors. The integrator also creates a standard integrator view for each module as well. And if we just open this and expand the window, we can see that this view contains the attribute that we created from TcSE, so our verification status attribute. This also has all of the values that we had within TcSE as well, and it's added the correct value to each of the objects. But it also creates a status attribute for you as well. Now this helps you to manage change when it's discovered. If the integrator imports change, it will set the value within this status field to give you a better idea that something's happened. We've seen how we can transfer data from TcSE to doors. Now we can look at how we can manage change between the tools. There are now a few options around how you can manage change. You can synchronize the data and it will just find any differences within TcSE and import them straight into doors, or you can schedule this activity to happen at a certain point within each day. We'll look at the view differences, which will show you in a hierarchy where the changes are. Now this screen allows you to analyze the data so we can view the differences within TcSE. Now what it's looking for is changes between the TcSE data and the integrator baseline information, and this hierarchy screen will show you if there's any deleted objects, created objects, of which there's one, or updated objects. And once you've understood and can see the impact, you can import all this data straight from TcSE into doors. Now the process it goes through is similar to how we extracted the data in the first place. It'll take the data out of TcSE, it'll convert it to a RIF format and update the integrator baseline information. From there it'll convert it further into a doors format, import it into doors, create the objects and return to you the newly created attributes so you can understand where the differences are. Now looking indoors, you can see that the updated information has been imported and the status attribute has also changed, and this applies to updated objects as well as new objects which have been inserted into the correct position. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you found this demonstration useful. If you do have any questions, please contact me at steve.coombs@syrosystems.com. Thank you.